G'day from Canberra. Ambassador Kim Beazley, our hard-working Consul General in LA, Karen Lanyon, my colleague and friend Robert Hill, Duncan Hunter, former Chair of the House Armed Services Committee, and Wes Bush from Northrop Grumman, welcome to you all. A warm welcome for the many distinguished guests and industry leaders to this important inaugural event aimed at enhancing defence industrial opportunities between Australia and the United States. Providing for the nation's security is a fundamental responsibility of government, and be under no illusion this government is committed to a safe and secure Australia. However, governments can only discharge this responsibility with the support of an innovative, agile and well-skilled industrial base, and through working in close partnership with other like-minded nations. For more than a century, the relationship between Australia and the United States has held fast. The strength and longevity of the relationship is largely based on its ability to evolve to meet the emerging security situation of the day. It is therefore critically important that our industrial relationships evolve at an equal pace, particularly in an ever-globalised and interconnected world. Today's dialogue comes in the midst of quite an exciting and dynamic year for defence in Australia. In the past 6 months, the Australian Government has rolled out a number of major capability investment decisions, including the acquisition of 8 P-8A Poseidon maritime surveillance aircraft, which will dramatically boost Australia's ability to monitor our maritime approaches and marine jurisdiction, an area equating to nearly 4% of the world's oceans. The approval of an additional 58 F-35A Joint Strike Fighter aircraft, bringing Australia's total commitment to 72 aircraft, a commitment to the acquisition of the Triton unmanned aerial vehicle subject to the successful completion of the US Navy development program currently underway. In short, Australia is entering a phase where many of our capabilities will soon be replaced or upgraded. To meet this challenge, the Australian Government has reaffirmed our commitment to restoring defence spending to 2% of GDP within the decade, and taken a step towards that with an increase in defence spending in the most recent federal budget released last May. The Government has also commenced work on a new Defence White Paper which will set out our vision for future defence strategy and the capabilities we require to be a strong and capable partner of the United States and of our regional friends and neighbours. The 2015 Defence White Paper will be accompanied by a fully funded 10-year defence capability plan that will ensure the Australian Defence Force has the equipment it needs in future decades and provide greater certainty for Australian defence industry. Strengthening our cooperation with the United States, including through the force posture initiatives in Northern Australia, our capability and technology partnership, and through strengthening the level of interoperability with US forces at all levels, will remain key drivers for us. The successful implementation of the Australia-United States Defence Trade Cooperation Treaty has made it easier for Australian and United States industry to cooperate on defence projects, operations and research programs. Australia is a country that has great strengths, an economy in the top 15 in the world, no mean feat for a country of just 23 million people. We have also been at the forefront of innovation for many decades, and I am pleased that many of the companies leading such development are present for today's dialogue. A forerunner of our export defence capacity, and of course many of you would be aware of, is the NOLCA missile decoy system. NOLCA is an exceptionally valuable capability for the Australian Navy and has made a huge difference to enhancing ship defence, providing an effective countermeasure against radar-guided missiles. The original NOLCA development was performed under a memorandum of agreement between the United States and Australian governments in 1986 and was the first joint project in the electronic warfare domain between our two countries. It has since evolved into a collaborative program of great success and value to both countries, having been installed in over 150 vessels in the United States Navy, the Canadian Navy and the Australian Navy. Similarly, Canberra-based CEA Technologies have done a magnificent job in bringing forward world-class and cost-effective phased array radar technology to the Australian Navy. Using Saab's Command and Control 9LV system out of South Australia, the Anzac ship upgrades of HMAS Perth and Arunta, and the performance of the integrated system during live missile test firing off Hawaii last year has many interested folks sitting up and taking notice of this leading edge capability. The Australian Military Sales Office is helping the United States and other allies access leading edge technology developed by Australia to the advantage of all our warfighters. Australia has benefited greatly from access to US capability, and we are very keen to reciprocate where we have leading capability to offer in return. Australia's first Joint Strike Fighter is about to roll off the production line in Fort Worth. The fact is that we have a number of Australian manufacturers who are specialising in the manufacture of high-tech components for the global Joint Strike Fighter fleet. Australian precision engineering company Morand recently completed manufacturing of the first Australian-made vertical tail for the Joint Strike Fighter and are commencing production of up to 722 sets of vertical tails for the United States and other F-35 partner nations. Australian industry are also making composite panels for the fuselage of the F-35, weapons carriers, decoy flares and other components. In total, some 30 Australian companies have been directly involved in the F-35 program, and more than $405 million in production orders have been won, with only 2 to 3% of aircraft production completed to date. These are all tremendous examples of the sort of innovations and partnerships that I would like to see develop between defence and industry coming to fruition to provide world-class cutting-edge technology. Today's dialogue is a unique opportunity to reflect upon some of these accomplishments and set the foundations for the next wave of opportunities that will flow from our ongoing partnership as two long-standing allies in the Asia Pacific. So have a great day and celebrate a fantastic relationship between Australia and the United States.